Hello! Today we are going to talk about the signs of divisibility. In mathematics and in life, we often have to face situations when we need to decide whether it is possible to divide a number by another number without a remainder. And in this case, the signs of divisibility help us. Application of signs of divisibility, we will divide into two types. To determine divisibility, we begin by examining the final digit. This rule applies first and foremost in a number. And the second kind of divisibility rules, we're going to apply some kind of algorithm. So, in the first case, we'll be talking about the last digit. And in the second case, we're going to apply rules. Let's write down. Signs indicating divisibility allow us to ascertain the final digit. These are the signs of divisibility for the numbers 2, 5, and 10. And in the second case, we will apply the rules. In this case, we will only look at the signs of divisibility by 3 and by 9 so far in today's lesson. Today in class, we're going to identify the rules and determine whether a number can be divided by 2 without a remainder, or whether a number can be divided by 5 without a remainder, or if you can divide a number by 10 without a remainder. And then we'll look at the signs of divisibility by 3 and by 9. We're going to start from the signs of divisibility by 2, by 5, and by 10. Now notice, to determine if a number is divisible by 2 without a remainder, we need to look at the last digit. If the last digit is an even number, or the digits 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0, then the number can be divided by 2 without a remainder. If the last digit is 0 or 5, then the number can be divided by 5 without a remainder. If we need to answer the question of whether a number can be divided by 10, then I will look at the last digit, and that digit must be 0. Let's look at an example. The number is 78. Which of these numbers will the number 78 be divisible by? By rule, we have to look at the last digit. The last digit is 8. If the last digit of a number is 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, and in this case it's 8, then that number can be divided by 2 without a remainder. So I'm going to write this number in the column under 2. Let's determine if the number 78 can be divided by 5. To do this, the last digit is 8. And according to the rule of thumb, a number can be divided by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5. But we have the digit 8, so the number 78 cannot be divided by the number 5. Similarly, consider whether the number 78 can be divided by 10. The last digit must be 0. But in our case, the last digit is 8. So the number 78 cannot be divided by 10. Now consider the number 25. By what number can the number 25 be divided? Let's look at the last digit. The last digit is 5. Can the number 25 be divided by 2? The last digit is 5. And in order to divide by 2, the last digit must be 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Therefore, 25 cannot be divided by 2. Let's move on to the number 5. Can the number 25 be divided by 5? To do this, we're going to refine the last digit. The last digit must be 0 or 5. In our number, the last digit is 5. Then the number 25 can be divided by the number 5 without a remainder. Now let's determine, can 25 be divided by 10? A number can be divided by 10 without a remainder if the last digit is 0, and we have the number 5, so I can't divide 25 by 10 without a remainder. And there's another number. This is the number 40. Let's determine the last digit is 0. Can the number 40 be divided by 2? Yes, you can, because the last digit is 0. Let's write down 40. Can this number be divided by 5 without a remainder? Let's find the last digit. It's 0. You can divide a number by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5. In this example, it's 0. Write it down. Can 40 be divided by 10? Yes, you can if the last digit is 0. I can divide 40 by 10. Now you'll notice that you can divide 40 by 2, 5, and 10. Now let's look at the rules of divisibility by the number 3. When a number can be divided by 3 without a remainder. For example, we need to answer the question. If we can divide the number 1005 by 3, what do we do in this case? There is a rule. In order to determine if a number can be divided, a number by 3, we have to add up the digits. What am I going to do? 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5. You get the number 6. And 6 can be divided by 3. Then I am saying that 1005 can be divided by 3 without a remainder. That's the same rule we'll use when we answer the question of whether this number can be divided by 9. 9. For example, 1008. Can 1008 be divided by 9? Let's apply our rule. We add the numbers and the result is 1 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 8, that's 9. And 9 can be divided by 9 without a remainder. So the number 1008 can be divided by 9 without a remainder. But if I find the sum of the digits of this number, I get 9. And 9 can also be divided by 3. Therefore, the number 1008 can be divided by 3. Notice that in the number 1008, the last digit is 8. Therefore, we can divide 1008 by 2 without a remainder. 1008. And in 1005, the last digit is 5. Then we can divide 1005 by 5. These are the rules we will apply to answer the question whether we can divide a number. In the next lesson, we're going to look at another example where we're going to apply the rules of divisibility. And that's all for today. Goodbye. See you again.